tell me, hey, I like your hat. What are they gonna do tonight? Blah, 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 that whole thing.
What do you think, guys? They're gonna win? They're gonna beat Buffalo?
That's a 50-50, man. Honestly, it depends on. But you know what? Then again, with all those injuries to those linebackers, you know, Washington kind of gave a little blueprint on how to get over on them. So
yeah,
we'll see. I don't know. I don't know what Buffalo team's going to show up. You know, is Josh Allen going to show up the way he's been showing up most of the season, or is he going to fall flat? The game's in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. It's Sunday night, right?
Yep.
Ooh.
I think they're. I just think they're more. I don't know. I think Buffalo seems to be more. I think they seem like the better team to me. I mean, 11-11, 11-11. I don't see our edge in this matchup. You know what I mean? They seem like the fucking better team to me. They should win, but then again.
Well, yeah, you have to look at the individual matchups. So if you just start at the front, Steelers offensive line versus Buffalo's defensive line, edge is Buffalo. Easy.
Okay.
Steelers defensive line versus Buffalo's offensive line, I think the edge goes to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's got one of, even with the injuries, they still have a pretty solid front seven.
I'd go back to what the first thing you said. I don't know if it's easy. I don't even know if I give them the edge. I mean, I understand that we can't run the ball, but they're not gonna, we pass protect like a motherfucker. So to say it's easy, I don't think so.
I just don't think your offensive line is very good. Period. Like I don't see anything. I think
they're good at everything. I think they're good at everything but run blocks. Everything else they do exceptional. They came out run block to save their life, and that's an important part of the offensive line. It's like being able to run block. I know it is. It's 50-50 really in my mind. But if you throw the ball 50 times, maybe it's not. I don't know.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch the film, honestly, because with Pittsburgh's offensive line, I don't know how good they really are at pass blocking, even because Ben generally gets rid of the ball so quick now. And that can overcome a lot of deficiencies in pass blocking. So,
I think Ben has a lot to do with their success, not just the quick passes, but, knowing what he's looking at. Like that's, I mean, I noticed that last year when you were pass blocking, actually any team, a veteran quarterback who can change protections will help himself live longer. We saw the old man with the fucking busted up leg do that to us when we lost like 10 players on defense. I mean, he moved protection. He did his shit, and he made himself safe. Everything changed that second half. But a good veteran quarterback will make your line better. And that's what Ben's done. I mean, it's both. I think it's both things. But he can't get you. I don't know.
They just, but yeah, I would still give the advantage to Buffalo's defensive front over Pittsburgh's offensive line. Like their deep front seven over Pittsburgh's front five. Yeah. Because it is their front five, because Ebron ain't blocking nothing. All right. Ebron's a sieve.
Okay, now what about the receiving core of Pittsburgh versus the D-backs of Buffalo? Because their D-backs are pretty solid, man.
I would think talent-wise, I would give the edge to Buffalo, but I feel like the depth of the wide receivers that Pittsburgh had, because they have like 5 people who can, if they can catch the ball, that's first of all, if they can actually catch it, they can control it.
Yeah.
So there's mismatches to be had, but yeah, they're the defensive backs that they have, like Tre'Davious White, I think. Mm-hmm. No, is he there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those White. You got Poyer, who's a great safety, really underrated safety. They got some good D-back players, but can they do it for 60 minutes is the thing. You know what I mean?
They do it against offense is the thing. You know, I mean, I don't know. If you want to talk about the running game, I had this conversation with y'all before about our running game. It's like, well, well, we have a short passing game and whatever. The problem with that is, as I'm sure you guys know, if everybody knows you got a short passing game, then you got basically 11 guys in the box every possession. That's the problem. No deep ball. He can't hit a deep ball to save his life. It's fucking always off target, and that's why you can't.
Has it really been that bad?
Yeah.
I think that's why we can't run the ball, because we can't stretch the field, and everybody knows that. So everybody's uptight, and you saw
I have this new theory, and Z's not gonna like this. Z's not gonna like this theory, but I'm wondering if Ben Roethlisberger is kind of turning into Tom Brady when it comes to taking hits. Because you like Ben in the early part of Ben's career, man, he would just shrug those hits off like it was no big deal. I think now, if you look, he has no desire to take those hits, so that's why he wants to get rid of the ball so quick.
No, what 38-year-old quarterback does, you know what I mean? You gotta protect yourself.
Well,
get rid of that joint.
The only reason I would say that he might be like that is not for the same reason. Maybe it is the same reason Brady, but like we always clown Brady and Manning when they were doing that shit. But like there is a point where you're like, you know, my team's 8-8 if I'm not here.
Yeah.
And motherfuckers is like, I mean, I used to clown it too. And I see some of that creep into his game. But yeah, they 8-8 without him. So it's like at some point Brady, you see what they are.
Yeah.
No man, you see what they are. So when you see him like a guy coming in, you just lay down. I mean, I don't know. I've grown to appreciate that a little bit.
Yeah, now, no, I can appreciate that, but the thing is, it's just the lack of willingness to hold on to the ball in key moments to get that ball down the field where it needs to be. Like he's not doing himself any favors.
I've seen that too. I have seen that too, and I seen that specifically. Exactly. I'm glad you noticed it too. I've seen that where he throws the ball maybe a half second too soon.
Yeah,
and that's the problem with the deep ball. And that's also why it's not getting there, because he's thrown it because he's not willing to stand in there as long and take that hit, that deep ball hit. You know what I mean? And I don't know, and that's also could be a product of the 2.3 seconds or like you said, just not wanting to take that hit anymore. He did have the play of the century though last week, I will say.
Play of the century.
The spin move, nigga. Ooh, he brought that shit out. I was like, I'm gonna pull my dick out, start jerking off. I saw that spin move. I was like, oh,
get out of here.
Put him to sleep. I was like, oh, he broke his ankle. I was like, oh my God. Still there. So he still got some of it, and he still got some of it. That's
what's funny is the best play in my opinion of his.
He gonna bring that shit out. Watch, he gonna bring that shit out tonight with Josh Allen. He gonna show him I still am an athlete. He gonna do some funky shit tonight. I think he's gonna do some shit tonight. Some danger.
He might be taking a shit. That's about it. No.
He gonna be revitalized. Not that young Ben Roethlisberger across the field from him. He gonna have to show him some things.
I tell you,
Ben move again. Woo!
I tell you where the lack of a running game is really killing the Steelers is when they have a lead. They cannot bleed the clock out because they're still.
Game is lengthened. The game is lengthened, and you have more opportunities to come back. It is so bad. It's so bad. You know, like I watched the highlights this morning, and I'm like, you know, we score again, and I'm sitting there. They got a bogus 3. I'm sitting there like I watched the highlight. I know what happened to the game, but even watching the highlight, I had the same feeling I had watching them live. I was like, oh, you're gonna win this shit. And I was like, wait, no, we don't. What the fuck happened? That's it though. We can't run the fucking ball. You know, and if we run the ball with a 14-point lead, this is, I mean, no. That's why people doubt us, is the lack of a running game. And because everybody knows. Everybody can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can see it.
I will say, like, when you get that kind of lead, that 14-point lead, like, you can keep passing it, but if you're going to keep passing it like that, at least in the first half, you have to be really aggressive. You have to be like
really aggressive. Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm trying to score.
Because you can't let your foot off the pedal. And that's why, you know what? I mean, that's what the Rams did to us on Thursday, man. They were like, no, we are not letting up. And it was Cam Akers just getting 20 yards a carry. It's like, good God.
The ball,
and they're being really aggressive with driving it down the field, taking a bunch of fourth downs and going with it, and not backing down for shit. And it worked in their favor. It's like you can't play fucking. I'm gonna sit back and play pussy ball. You know what I mean? It's like no, you gotta play.
You got a horse. You got the horse though. Cam Maker is a bona fide professional running back. He's a rookie, but
they just discovered him all of a sudden. It's like what the fuck? They had 3 running backs. That Darrell Henderson and
he was great in college. He's doing the same shit now. I mean, I don't know. All I know is I need a professional actual running back on my Steelers. I can't. This shit is crazy, man.
It's not bad, but like you said,
Connor, I think somebody had a good point about the cancer and how at some point it's gonna take something from his game. I think it might have done that. And I don't know. I hope he has I hope he's resurgent, has a comeback game. But number one, he doesn't have the fucking speed required of the position. I need somebody. I mean, I want Le'Veon Bell back, but I like you. There's so many running backs I see every week who have power speed ratio. You're just like, and it's supposed to be fungible. It's supposed to be everywhere. In college, like find a guy, power, speed, size. There's guys.
I'm telling you, you guys are gonna get Le'Veon back. It's gonna happen. I feel it. The football gods are telling me it's gonna happen.
I would love to get. It don't
matter. I don't
matter.
even think he's.
It's a perfect fit, man. Like it makes sense. It's like why not? It's like
because for one thing. For one thing, it doesn't make sense is because this offensive line is not the same offensive line. Like that's the other problem. Like you could have a bona fide back. You could have Adrian Peterson back there, and I would think they would still struggle to run the ball because they can't run block for nothing.
I agree with that. I think Le'Veon may help make this line what it was back then. There are not too many people. There are not many differences out of one guard from what happened back then. I mean, Le'Veon knows how to run this offense. But I do think better actual athletes mean something in the backfield at that position. It's not that fungible. It's not just all the line's fault. Like I see dudes, my rookie picking the wrong lane, Snell more scared to turn it over than to run free, like shit like that. You can see it. You know what I mean? They're not on that level of what, Browns got 2 of them. The fucking, Baltimore's got 3 of them. You know what I mean? That know how to run the ball. I'm not talking about Emmitt Smith or nothing, but damn, I would take any.
Gus Edwards is okay. I mean, I wouldn't give him that much props. He's all right.
What?
Gus Edwards, he's okay.
I would take any 3 of their running backs on the Steelers over. I would love to have like the decisive, powerful, quick backs. Connor is not that dude, man.
None of those dudes have really done anything this year. J.K. Dobbins hasn't done shit.
I would take all 3 of them backs on my team, and I know they will get more production out than we have in our backfield now.
I will say this about Connor. I think he's not the fastest guy in the world, but I think he's quick enough, and he's definitely strong enough. He's probably more similar to like a Jerome Bettis than a Le'Veon Bell, but that requires a different type of blocking altogether. And sometimes I feel like he's not patient enough to let holes develop. He's too aggressive getting in there, and he's making it harder on himself.
I think he runs with his head down and his eyes closed. That's what I see. No vision whatsoever. I mean, if it's a design play, he'll do that. But no, that's the other thing. We talked about this before. Vision. That's the most important thing. I'm learning that, watching this year at that position, like watching a lack of vision. And that's what Le'Veon had. Le'Veon had, next level vision. And all these. I mean, Kareem Hunt has it. The other round has vision. Like, I mean, if you have that, you can see the play develop and find the right creases and don't make the wrong moves. I mean, that's everything. I mean, I don't think Connor has it. I mean, I really don't. So
which brings me to another question. I mean, we have okay, you guys got to admit this rookie class has been outstanding. They've had some really stand-up stellar players. Yeah. And the most hyped amongst them this year who had the greatest opportunity was Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And he was supposed to be like the next god of running backs, considering his situation. And to me, he's come short of expectations.
Yeah.
He hasn't been
Well,
what he
he
was
is
supposed to be. You know what I mean? So it's like,
You say he is short. You stupid.
oh yeah, whatever.
Well, he has a couple of things going against him. He has two things going against him: Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. Andy Reid would pass the ball every single play if he could. I mean, that was the biggest criticism in Philly, is that he would give up on the running game, even with like Deuce McAllister, with Westbrook back there, with LaShawn McCoy. Like, he had all these great running backs, and he could use them really well. They have great screen games, great passing games, but he would abandon the run way too often, and it wouldn't be very uncommon to see like Donovan McNabb throw the ball like 40 to 50 times a game. Like, everything we're talking about with the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger, Andy Reid is guilty of from a play calling perspective as well.
I don't think I think the biggest thing is getting Le'Veon in the fold. You know, they're
He
trying
hasn't
to work.
really been doing anything though.
He hasn't been doing shit.
He's getting carries. He's taking carries from Clyde. So it's like
Clyde wasn't even in last week. He didn't even play, and this dude didn't do anything. You know,
that's what I'm saying. Le'Veon got getting the carries. I don't know what happened. He might be in the doghouse. He might have hit a wall. He's a rookie. It's week 12. Could be anything. Like Chase, my guy Chase is gone now.
You know what, Azim? You got a big point with that, because I noticed that last week with a lot of the rookies. Like, a lot of them were starting to get sleepy, man. They can't hang. I noticed that with Justin Herbert, Clyde Edwards, your boy. Everyone's hitting the rookie wall right now.
The ones who played week 1 are now fading.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know somebody who didn't play till week 5, and he still got a chance to go strong down in Miami. So I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So
if he can stay healthy.
But that's what I'm saying, though. He's gonna have 12 games. He's got
his stats like dope as hell though. Like, I saw his stats somewhere, and they were pretty nice.
It's everything.
But
I'm like, what is Jim talking about?
He's like a self-hating Miami fan. It's like weird.
Yeah. So no, I'm
7 touchdowns, 0 picks.
I'm pretty pragmatic and objective, and have a tendency to probably land a little bit more on the pessimistic side. But if I'm looking at it objectively, like his stats are fine. But when and I haven't actually been able to see him play in person. I've just been listening to the games and following the games that way. Tua he hasn't had really, outside of that third quarter last week, and a couple of series in Arizona, he hasn't had that signature like drive. Like, when a team needed the first down, he would go and get a first down. I think part of it is Chan Gailey. Like, when Fitzpatrick is in there, all of a sudden their offense is opened up and the ball's flying down the field. When Tua is in there, it's like 2-yard pass, 3-yard pass. He'll throw the ball deep and it will overthrow, and it just wasn't in sync. When they started going no huddle last week, though, I mean, it kind of opened up a little bit more.
My man is having a 99.4 passer QB rating right now.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. That's pretty good for a rookie.
That's what it is, because you can't see him, because you'll get a text message about Tua, and Jim will say, "Oh, something's going bad," and then I'll they'll show a highlight and Tua's throwing a touchdown. I'm like,
what are you talking about?
But you gotta understand, like, I've been watching, again, I haven't seen it live and in person, but watching highlights and things like that, he does. I mean, his passer rating is kind of an anomaly. It's not a realistic depiction, because his yards per attempt is pretty low. He should have had like 3 or 4 interceptions that like the team dropped. He had a couple interceptions taken away because of pass interference penalties. So it's not like he's been like lights out. He's looked okay in totality.
Look, you guys are winning. That's the most important. And Chicago made that mistake, sending that retard Trubisky down and putting in the ultimate backup in too early. I mean, I don't care. Yeah, you can see he's not playing well, but if you're winning, you got to ride that dude, man. I don't, except your case.
Ride him like Khloe Kardashian.
Yes.
Ride that motherfucker.
Speaking of which, who's Chloe dating right now? I'm gonna see whose like NBA career is about to go belly up.
He's still what's name? Tristan.
Oh, they got back together?
They never really broke up. They got babies.
Yeah, his career's done.
Yeah, well, he's up in Boston now. God,
I'm sorry, man.
I don't want that. I don't want that Cleveland trash.
Bad rubbish.
I can't wait till James Harden goes to the Nets.
God, it's gonna be the worst, most god awful.
That team's gonna win like 20 games.
Dude, yeah. Well, I mean, Katie is not ball dependent, but you know, James Harden and Kyrie are ball dependent. You know.
Yeah.
So that is not going to work for them, and they're fooling themselves if they think it's going to work.
I mean, they'll get to the playoffs, and they'll probably get to the conference finals, but I don't know if they'll get beyond that because, I mean, they tried that experiment twice already. They tried to put Harden with Chris Paul, then they put Harden with Westbrook.
Yeah,
it just doesn't work.
It doesn't work, man. It does not work.
All right, doesn't make any sense. If he's going to play the point, you can't pair him with another point.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they're trying to do in with the Nets.
But it's like, what kind of players can you have around someone with a game like that, who's that ball dependent and?
Honestly, you need a
run and gun.
A team very similar to how the Bucks are set up around Giannis. You want to get a bunch of shooters and maybe some people who can go and get some rebounds. And play some defense.
That shit ain't working for them either, though, because they keep getting knocked out.
Well, this year is a bit of an anomaly too.
I think Philly would be the spot. I think Philly would be the spot for him, or Miami Heat. But like, what are you giving up?
You know, that's just not a bad idea. Miami would be pretty dope for him.
The only problem is Miami and Harden don't want to listen to nobody.
Yeah, he is kind of an arrogant dick.
Raleigh will not play.
Yeah, him and Butler would be fighting.
Yeah, because he won't give effort on fucking defense. Yeah, Butler would be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah, he'll blow him up quick. I'd have no problem doing it.
Nope.
I mean, Philly on paper
sounds
good, but I question if he's going to be able to play with Embiid.
I think he'd be fine. He's outside, inside.
So.
But he likes to have that slashing space though too. Like he's
they can space it with everybody. I mean, they need some shooters. They need some shooters. Simmons is not that. Simmons traded. I mean, Simmons will be the one they trade. They're not going to trade Embiid. They would trade Simmons for him, and I don't know whatever the draft pick. I imagine inside out. I think it could work.
Maybe.
Yeah.
They have Doc Rivers, so he's a much better coach than Brett Brown.
Brett was hot for a minute. I don't know.
Yeah, for a second, but I don't know. And then you heard Paul George going off about Doc Rivers this week, saying that the team never practiced. You know, they never got their bearings. They just came out and played, and it's like, wow.
I heard that, and I heard him on All the Smoke, and it was a great interview, and it gave me a new insight to his life, whatever, and understanding of where he's coming from. I actually was sitting and listening to it. I was like, oh my God, now I feel sorry for him. But then I heard him say that, I'm just like, number one, you don't need to tell anybody that shit.
Yeah, I know.
To try to defend your play. The point was this: he didn't need to make any adjustments. Because twice in the playoffs, you was up 3-1. You let teams come back on you. Like, what's he gonna adjust? He's like, if we do what we're supposed to do, we should whoop their ass. And they did. They barely won. They did, and they lost. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know blaming Doc for that. Doc got you 3-1. You know, Doc got you there, second place in the West. The player's the one that folded. He's the one that folded. Mm-hmm. I mean, he played like shit. He hit the back of the backboard and shit. I mean, I'm telling you, I got new respect for him. I know his story now, and I feel for him. But that was horrible to have him throw Doc under the bus. And as Steven Jackson would say, another black coach under the bus. That was like fucking crazy. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, why? You don't need to face yourself. You just got $229 million.
He's not worth that much. Not even close.
Gonna hate.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. He got paid it.
Azim, this dude's worth $250 million in 5 years. He is not worth it. No way.
For every fucking penny, because somebody paid him.
Man, this dude, he chokes so violently when it comes to clutch situations, and he's been dogged on. I mean, look at how many times Damian Lillard killed this dude.
And they still.
Damian Lillard has made a career just murdering Paul George. And
you know what they need to do is. You said Chris, you talking Paul George? I thought we were talking Chris Paul.
No, Paul George.
Paul George.
Oh, Paul George. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this dude got 226 million for 5 years. Dude,
worth every penny.
There's only.
It's not worth every penny. I mean, I understand what Z's saying, man. The market dictates what you're worth, and the market said that he's worth that $250 million.
The market's fucking wrong.
you overinvested, man. You overinvested.
Jeez.
You bought stock in Beta. That's what you did. You bought stock in Betamax.
Yeah. It might be a hot ticket for a second, but yeah.
NBA is crazy. Woo-wee. Oh my god.
Couple more weeks, then. Couple more weeks.
If only we were all over 6'6". Maybe we can sniff some of that money. Ooh.
Oh man. Dude, if I could hit a curveball, I could be hitting. I'd be sniffing some money.
You want that lazy money?
Yeah, dude. I want to be able to play with my dick in the outfield while people aren't hitting the ball.
30% failure rate and get 200 million. Yes.
226 million for 5 years. Oh my god, dude. I'm telling you, man. Like, I don't know who the hell their GM is, but bad move.
Oh, George.
Yeah, there's only one player in the league. There's probably a handful of players that have worked that much in the league, and he ain't one of them, man.
There's only one.
Come on, man. Playoff P. Come on.
Well,
playoff P. Playoff P's worth that.
What?
Playoff P, man.
So
playoff P.
He's like, I'm playoff P. Then he lost. Then he kept losing.
Dude plays more like Master P.
Master P. Little Bow Wow.
Right. He'd be making everyone else say,
Playoff P. That's so fucked up. Why would he? Hey, you know what though? He got 226 million. So I don't know. Good for him. I know he's not worth it. There's only one player worth that in the NBA. I don't know who that is, Aaron.
LeBron James.
Yeah, I know. It's
what about KD, man?
I know.
That might not be enough for him.
KD, he's worth around that. You know what I mean? I say 10%. 10% less because of the injury and age. But I don't know, man. Like, there's a handful of players that are worth that much.
Yeah, I would give it to KD. I would give it to LeBron.
Team changer. He'll change your.
I'll tell you what. You guys are gonna say this is controversial, but you know what? I would give it to Luka.
Oh, Luka right now?
Yes.
I can't do that to him. I can't do it. I gotta see him. He gotta win something. He gotta do something. He got.
What the hell's Paul George won? He ain't done shit. He ain't worth it.
I know Paul George ain't worth it. I'm just saying it's worth it because of the market. I agree with you. I know. He ain't done,
man. Hell no.
Paul George. Oh my god.
Paul George, man, he's a hustler, dude. Paul George is a hustler.
He's a nice. No, he know what he is. I heard the interview, and you know what? He's a nice guy.
Yes. Shut up, man.
That's the
problem. Nice guys in the NBA. We want to win, damn it.
He's a nice guy, and that's his fucking problem.
I don't know, man. Like, you could be a nice guy and win. Like, dude, LeBron's decent, dude.
No one's nice and wins. I was like sitting there listening to his interview, and I was like, you know what? I would like to. All I could think was, I would like to go to like church with him. That's all I could think. Like, I don't want to go to the club with him. I don't want to date with some other girls. I don't want to do. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to drink with him. I was like, this is a nice person.
we're going to sit down.
They're too nice. We're not.
No, ladders together. We're going to go on a play date.
I want to get on TMZ later.
Yeah, that's about it. We can get our kids to the playground or something. I was like, and I got no other vibe other than that. I was like, this dude, this is nice, man. He's a professional. He's a nice man. I was like, okay. And I was just like, ooh.
Yeah, but he could be put on that front, though. His mama's listening. You know what I mean?
But then he started bitching about Doc Rivers, and I was like, and he's kind of a bitch. I was like, oh, God.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
I mean, I will say this. Like, you can be a nice dude outside of the court and be a heathen on the court. Like, you know,
I think he's a dude on the court too. I think that's the other problem. I think he's nice for it. Not nice like he nice, but he's nice. Like,
I'll use me as an example. Like, I think generally speaking, I'm a well-meaning human being.
Mhm.
But when I was on the football field and I was blocking people, I wasn't angry at them, but I had no chill. I would not care. Like, even like in flag football, I remember like blocking people into the baseboards at like Family First just because
dude.
got that mean.
It's like, all right, man, all right, you got me, you blocked me. I'll just stay right here. Shit.
off me. As you're
Yeah,
supposed
but
to.
you know what? Will Paul George have that dog in him, that fight, that dominant spirit that you need to win in the NBA? You know, I don't know. And everyone's looking at
Kawhi doesn't have that shit either.
I don't know, man. I mean,
I think he does, man. I think
he does it in a different way, but
Kawhi is a great basketball player. He
Mhm.
makes all the right moves, but there's nothing there. There's no leadership. There's no physical leadership other than his ability. No.
Azim, there's no way you go from one team to another and win an NBA championship and then come to the situation that he's in now. And, you know, he didn't get his team to the promised land. No, because that team's just falling apart. He has fight in him, man.
He's a great player who makes all the right moves and is very aggressive. But I don't think he has zero passion for the fucking game. I think he's just really good at it, and that's what I see. And last year when he was with the Raptors, that coach did a great job. Is people on their team. That was a great team.
Mm-hmm.
KD got hurt and they won. Mm-hmm. And then the Clippers, then it became he's the best player in the world because LeBron lost the last 4 months because he got hurt. And that was not real. That was never real, but that's what it turned into. Because Drake talking about he got and then he goes to Clippers, and what the fuck happens?
Well, playoff P happened. That's what happened.
Yeah, exactly.
playoff.
The greatest robbery of the century.
Him too. He didn't do shit either. He didn't play great either.
I will never say that Kawhi doesn't have passion for the game because, I mean, just because you don't look it doesn't mean you don't have it.
I don't think he has passion for the game. I think he has a job. He's very good at his job. Watch him this year. That's all I get from him. I don't get no. The only time I ever saw him celebrate shit was that crazy game winner against Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "Oh," it was like, "What the fuck?" Okay,
you could just be a stoic dude, man. You could be like,
I do not think he has passion for the game. I do not. I think he's very good at his job. That's how I look at him. You know, I don't know. I that's my feeling.
I mean, have you ever really seen like Tim Duncan like celebrate like that?
Tim Duncan, you know, everyone knows Tim Duncan was passionate about the game. You could see it on the court. He was not stoic. He was nothing like
He was very stoic, man.
Yes, yo,
he was not like
in that Game of Zones. They said, "Put your soul in the box," because they all
remember
the same.
What was his nickname, man? His nickname was the Big Fundamental.
Yes.
Yeah, right. It wasn't
boring.
It wasn't like the Big Shaqtus, or it was the Big Fundamental.
I have his face in my mind. It is nothing like they're totally different things. Totally different things.
Just because he doesn't look like Tyler Hasbro, it doesn't mean that he doesn't have passion.
No, dude, he ain't got passion for the game, man. He does. He's very good at his job. Tim Duncan,
Hasbro.
Tim Duncan is not. You can see that. You can see it in his eyes. I mean, he got like that little like this, but the eyes are always like angry. He's playing angry the whole time. Look, I mean, think about Tim right now. It's like with stoic, but no, he's angry. That dude playing with a chip on his shoulder the whole time. He's making all the right moves on shit. No. Whatever the fuck his name is.
I don't know, man. That's semantics. I'm saying this dude is dope, man. Yeah. He got passion. He's a leader.
Yeah. He's going to work. I'm going to work. Here we go. Fucking watch it, man. I mean, watch it this year. With my
dude, let me ask you this. Is it possible to be that good at what you do and not have passion for it because of all the work that you have to put into it to get to that level?
It is. And let me tell you, it is. And I'll tell you right now, there are people like that in all walks of life and all jobs.
Yeah.
Some people are like that. And some people aren't passionate about the shit they do. There's fucking. I mean, that's just a fact. Now, and you know that. You know, people like that.
Mm-hmm.
My point is that I don't see people rallying around him. I don't see him making.
Well, they may just not like him.
That's part of it too. That's part of it. That's what makes you do that shit. You draw people to you.
He's got that. You got that weird laugh. It probably turns people away. Like,
That's so bad.
I can't talk shit. My laugh's weird, but
my whole being is weird, man. Like aliens, if they landed on Earth and they abducted me, they're like, I ain't coming back. Fuck that.
I think he's overrated. I think he had a perfect situation happen for him, and it broke right, and all of a sudden he became the best basketball player. And I was like, that does not know. I mean, he had a great series against LeBron 6 years earlier when he was in San Antonio. Then he had all this crazy shit happen in San Antonio. He forces his way out. He gets to the right situation with a great coach, a great town, a great organization, a great GM. They put pieces around him. He makes a nice run through the East. Miracle shot in Philly. Goes on, and KD gets hurt. And he wins the title. And all of a sudden, he is the best basketball player. Where do you want to go next year? Oh, I'm going to the Clippers. And like, oh, the Clippers #1. They're going to win everything. And then you see it this year. You see it this year. The entire season, even before COVID hit, they were not hitting. They weren't hitting. They weren't practicing. They weren't doing shit. They got second place. Lakers ran away with that shit. And right before it went down, LeBron dominated that entire team by his damn self. And Milwaukee. And who was the other team? It was 3 teams. I think it was 3 teams. It was them, Milwaukee, and someone else. LeBron dominated all 3 of them, trying to make a push for the MVP right before COVID shut everything down. And that
who did get MVP? Who have they decided that yet?
Yeah,
who was the MVP?
Oh, what's that got it from Milwaukee? John's got it.
You got it this year too?
Yeah, John's got
it. It sounds like they didn't know what to do. They're like, oh, just give it to him.
They should. He didn't deserve it anyway, but whatever. You can't give it. It's like Michael Jordan shit when Charles Barkley got the 1 year. That didn't make no sense.
In the year that Malone got
but Charles had a great year that year, man. But you can't argue that
he didn't
Jordan still had the same numbers.
There's a fatigue.
Yes.
Fatigue. No, whatever. It don't matter anyway. All that matters is the chip. Fuck it.
You're adopted Lakers fan.
Oh yeah.
So how old is LeBron right now? Is he 35?
38? Not 38. What was it?
I think he's 35.
He's 36, 35, 36, something like that.
See, when he was born.
Okay.
18. Well, 17 years in the league, he came in at 18.
And his birthday's coming up.
18.
I know sometime in December.
He was born December 30th, 1984.
So there you go.
Okay.
So he will be 36.
36. That's what it is.
How many years do you think he arguably has left to be this dominant?
I don't know. I mean, I know he takes really good care of himself, and we have made a lot of advances in medical and things like that. But the amount of finals that he has been to,
yes,
is just, I mean, and just the miles that he has. I mean, it can't keep going forever, obviously. I mean,
well, no.
I don't think he's gonna have a drop off quite as quick as like Kobe had. Like Kobe's drop off was just unnatural.
Kobe got hurt.
Yeah,
Kobe got hurt. That's the only thing I'm worried about with this season being so short. Like they have to take care of him and not let him. I mean, like I said before, I know it's basketball. They play every day anyway, but to turn around, get back in the season, it's going to be crazy. This might be, he could get hurt this year without that rest, without that.
I would like if I'm the Lakers right now. I'm legitimately thinking about maybe limiting his minutes in the first part of the season to like 20 a game.
You'd have
20 minutes. You say 20 minutes a game? Oh,
you still have to win.
I don't know. You still have to win, but and I think to beat most teams, they have like AD, like Anthony Davis is enough to beat most teams.
Did he resign?
He will.
AD resigned. Yeah, he resigned already.
Oh, he did? Oh, okay.
Yeah. But
I was worrying about that. It's like, I wonder if he's going to resign, man. If he's going to go somewhere else.
He just wanted that max money.
West is good,
He
man.
deserves that max money. He's worth 226 mil. I give it to him. I was like, yeah, bro, here you go. You're good. Paul George, get the fuck out of here. Ugh.
Do you know who? So talking about like disappointments, right? Do you know who's really got me like befuddled is Karl Anthony Towns, man. Like he was supposed to be legit. That team was supposed to be legit.
Yeah, he got to be in it, right? Honestly, you know what? I know he's gonna love this, but you know what? He should be coming to Boston, man. That's what Boston needs. Big dude like that. Get him someone who's dominant constantly. I think we'd be a lot better, personally.
So we had a call in or a text in comment going back to football. My uncle just said he wanted to give us 2 cents. He thinks that tonight you're going to see a better Steelers team. They're going to be rested and actually have a week of practice to work on things.
Book see that. I mean, you guys, the Steelers have had 3 games in 13 days.
Yeah, but every team has that every year.
You know, the argument with that, I heard that too, and they were like poo-pooing that. But no one's had 12 games in 3 games in 12 days like the Steelers had.
No, they haven't had the disruption.
Sunday, Thursday, Monday. That's happened before with Thanksgiving. Sure. You know what I mean?
Every Thursday it happens.
Yeah. So that's not but they didn't know when they were going to be fucking playing.
Yeah.
Up until baby. So that shit fuck everything up. I think what's really going to help this week is the coaches actually can game plan for a fucking team.
Mm-hmm.
One
what's going to help this week? They're going to call Fred Biletnikoff, and they're going to get some of that stickum.
What the?
No, Biletnikoff's a god.
Rocky Blyer said they take their fucking gloves off. He said they stopped. I was like, what the fuck? Rocky,
I'll be like, I'm all about being like old school and everything. Rocky is wrong. Like, those gloves are just as tacky as like stickum. Like they.
Yeah, I hate. I mean, me personally, when I play football, I hated the gloves.
Yeah,
I want to feel that ball. You know what I mean? And run with it.
I used to say the same thing with like baseball. Like I would like I hate wearing baseball gloves because I wanted to feel the bat and everything. Until my hands started opening up with blisters because I'd be swinging so hard. And I'm like, you know what? These gloves aren't a bad idea.
That's why you got. Remember, you had to piss on your hands, make them stronger. Remember that shit?
That's like. Did you guys ever see the movie Beer Fest?
Oh yeah, the greatest movie of all time. Yes.
When they're like to practice chugging, they used to drink goat piss.
Yes.
Oh.
The roof of the building.
Oh, that grandmother man eating her sausage.
It sounds awful.
You ain't seen Beer Fest?
No.
Oh, man, that movie's funny, man.
I never laughed so hard in my life at a movie. In my life, I've still to this day. I saw that like fucking 3 years ago. I fell on the fucking floor. Kay was like, "What is wrong with you?" For like a year, she'd bring it up just to make me laugh. She'd bring up a scene, I'd start bust out laughing. Funny shit. I think because I'm an alcoholic, probably.
Man, probably.
I can associate. I'm like, so true. That's so true.
Like I don't drink, man. But I thought, like, so it's by the people who did Super Troopers. I don't know if you saw that movie.
Oh, yeah,
I thought it was better than Super Troopers, man. It was just
really Super Troopers is legendary.
He's got a ping pong paddle shoved up his ass.
That movie was fucking phenomenal, man. That was a great film.
Hey, so, you know what we do at work, Jim? Whenever we get a new guy and he's down in the hole and he's trying to like do some job, whatever, me and my buddy Tony, we stay on top of the hole and we go, I remember my first main break. Always say that shit. So everybody started laughing because of the movie. I remember my first BO.
All right, we're starting to run up on time here, so let's just get some predictions here. So Miami, I'm interested in your predictions for Miami Chiefs game. What do you think?
I think that defense might step up. I think Miami has a chance. It's in Miami.
I think so. Yeah.
If it's in Miami, I think they have a chance. And never forget about that South Beach effect.
That heat effect too.
That
Like this part of the season.
That heat fucking taking off and fucking around too.
I saw an interview with Brian Flores. This was last year. And they're talking about, so there's rumors going around that you're going to take advantage of the Miami Heat by wearing your away jerseys at home. Your all whites at home. He just looks. He goes, possibly.
Right. You should
make them wear their dark colors.
Oh my god,
that's real shit.
No,
I think my linebacker threw up on the fucking field the one day, and I got so fucking mad. Shit, LT. What the hell was his name? I'll never forget that shit. He fucking threw up, and I went, this motherfucker. I was like, it was like 4 years ago. I was like, the guy was like, oh, the Heat must be getting to these Steelers today. And I was like, fucking Heat, that motherfucker was out all fucking night on South Beach. He ever throwing up on the fucking field. I was so mad. I was like, it's a damn, you gotta win this game, man. You out here partying all fucking night, fucking around, and he got you on national TV puking. He said it was honestly, the Heat.
But okay, you're in your 20s, early 30s possibly, and you're in South Beach and you're a millionaire.
Yeah, but like one of the states that has no COVID restrictions.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. They fucking shoot. I never forget that shit. He was like, and I was all
yeah, but you forgot his name.
Lawrence Timmons.
Oh yeah.
I'll never forget that shit. I was like, you really puking on the sideline on the field right now. I was like, dude, everybody look at you. Everybody knows what you did. You know what you did. Really hot out.
It reminds me of a story. I think the Chiefs are gonna. Obviously, I think the Chiefs are gonna win. I mean, I don't mean that. It's just that Patrick Mahomes, man. I just can't.
See, I think differently. I think it's a trap game. I think it's a trap game for Kansas City. I think they're gonna come in with lower expectations. Then like, okay, well, they're playing a little bit better defense, but look at who we are, and they're gonna take them for granted. And I think Miami's gonna have a hell of a game, and they're gonna shock the world.
They're playing a good. And I still don't believe in Kansas City's defense. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't know. I don't see the
defense is legit, man. The defense is decent.
I don't see anything. Now, the offense is obviously great, but they're not top 10 in nothing. I mean, they're on the coattails of his greatness, his ability to score the ball. And they do just enough. But
what are they ranked defensively? That's a good question.
I don't think they're that high.
Speaking of defenses, just to wrap it up, the big game tonight, game of the week, Pittsburgh, Buffalo. What you guys got?
I think Pittsburgh's going to find a way to pull it out. I think they're going to find a way to pull it out. I think they had this lull, and they're going to step up against this really good, great team and stand up and put it on them. I think they're going to get them.
Would Sober Z take that bet to Vegas? Because Drunk Z absolutely would, man. Drunk Z would put his house on it.
Yeah, I would take that bet because it's not about being sober or drunk. It's knowing my team. Like I know that they do shit like this. You know, like they fucking win a game. You're like backs against the wall, and they fucking come up and they win games like this. They've done it before, and you did it under Tomlin era.
Yeah,
that story of like playing down the teams is got a reverse another pole to it. They fuck up against teams that they ain't supposed to win, except for one, Aaron.
I will say this about Pittsburgh, not talking about playing down the competition. That's a different discussion. But I do think, in a way, they function better when they're chasing the pack as opposed to when they're leading the pack. I feel like there's a better sense of hunger there. But, what do you think, What do you think is going to happen tonight?
I think it's the same thing that happens every Sunday night when it comes to a Pittsburgh game. It's going to be very tight. And I think Buffalo's going to be leading most of this game. And I think come the fourth quarter, Pittsburgh's going to somehow, I don't know, man, pull out some BS and pull off the win. I've seen it too many times. It's like, they got him against the ropes. It's done. And then all of a sudden, interception. And then Boswell for a 50-yard field goal. Steelers win. It's like, it's every single game. So, yeah, it's going to be Pittsburgh, but it's going to be tight. Buffalo, I think, is going to lead most of the game. And then it's going to come out to the fourth quarter. Buffalo's going to choke. Pittsburgh's been there too many times, too much experience fighting for, the last few points to win the game. It's good having these close games because you know how to close out, you know how to finish. Yeah. You know what I mean? And they've had a bunch of games like that already. So, there is no difference in this one except Buffalo's a pretty stout team, and you guys will be fighting.
No joke. This is a huge test. Everybody should be up and ready for this game. But Buffalo is no joke. I'm not saying that they got everything you want in the team right now. The quarterback's playing great, big, strong, fast, athletic, fucking offensive line good, fucking running backs are good. They got Diggs. They got one of the best.
Yeah. Diggs is playing out of his mind, and no one's even talking about him, man. He's having a great year.
Guy, they're playing a spread. I guess they're playing some kind of spread offense, wide open spread offense, so you can see the field or whatever.
Yeah, they do like a mini RPO too.
I guess I don't even know. I haven't watched them, but I just heard today on other podcasts that's what they're doing. They spread you out and they go out and okay. So I don't know if they do that though. The only thing I can think is homeboy. We should be able to get pressure on him.
Yeah,
but he's a different animal.
Not without Dupree and Bush, man. I don't think so. You guys still got TJ Watt.
Yeah, TJ Watt, I still think has made Bud Dupree better than I think they'll be okay. I think Highsmith will go in just fine.
What we have is TJ, Stephon Tuitt, Cam Hayward, and fucking the new kid. Everyone gets that shit. Check the sack. The reason we're leading the league in sacks is also we get interior pass rush and sacks from them too.
Don't forget Mike Hilton. Mike Hilton's difference maker.
Mike Hilton gets sacks too, so it's gonna be interesting to see. But Mike Hilton's so small, I see him coming up, homeboy. Allen got something for his little ass.
Is it Allen's just gonna stick his hand out and he's gonna be like,
that boy's big as hell. That boy is big as hell. He got stronger.
I need Pittsburgh to win, man, because if Pittsburgh wins, then Miami I think they control their destiny for the division.
I gotta win too.
Yeah, what is your record in the destiny? You guys are what in the division, Jim?
Second.
What's your record?
2, yeah.
8-4.
No, but the division record. Do you know that?
Oh,
you guys got 8 wins?
Yeah, they got 8 wins.
God.
Right? That's what I'm saying. What the hell are you talking about? 2 is bad.
Division record. So we have a loss to Buffalo and a loss to New England. Those are both of them were close games, and then we beat the Jets twice. So 2-2.
Okay.
Jesus.
Okay, it's 2-2 in the division. That's definitely respectable.
Yeah.
That's
but
where
like I said, they almost beat Buffalo. They almost beat New England.
Yeah.
New England just ran the shit out of that game.
That's what I'm saying. You never know what New England team you're going to get. You're going to get the aggressive.
The Forrest Gump of the NFL.
Literally.
I am interested in what Allen does with our defense. That I think that's the whole game right there.
Yeah.
If he can figure
the defense like them yet.
All these young guys got to figure out that riddle of steel. They can figure out that riddle of steel, then that's their crucible right there. If they can figure that shit out, if he figures this out this year, last year we couldn't score, so because no Ben, and he beat us last year, but this is going to be the year. If he can do it this year, then the sky's the limit for him. But that's a hard lesson. That's the defense.
Ooh, and I think is Cleveland playing Baltimore too?
That's
tomorrow night.
That's the game of the week.
That's a Monday night game.
Division leaders, yeah, Monday night game. That's showing
gonna be a good one. Ooh,
on the line right there. Both teams, whoever loses that game is out of the playoffs. I think.
We'll get to see how Cleveland really responds.
What are the Browns' record? What are they? 9-3? They're out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
They got 9 wins. Yeah, Stefanski did a good job with them.
I think they're in the playoffs right now.
I would say they're definitely in the playoffs right now.
If they lose to Baltimore, they ain't coming back from that. They have to win that game.
I think Baltimore beat them.
If they lose that game, Browns are done for the year.
I don't know, man. That one, I'm giving it to Cleveland, man. I think they're playing too hot right now. They're on that roll. I think, unfortunately, having Odell Beckham Jr. gone is taking the pressure off of Baker Mayfield to get the ball to him.
People keep saying with it.
I think there's some truth to it, man. Like when you have those legit wide receivers like that, there's pressure to get the ball into their hands.
Right.
You know, even from like a schematic perspective.
They won games before. They were winning games when he was on the team.
They were losing more. They were losing. Dude, their record since he's been gone, like I'm pretty sure they only have one loss since
they won some games with the team.
Yeah.
In Dallas, he had one of their best plays of the year, the second best play of the year in Dallas.
Best play, but was it the best game? Did they win?
Yeah, they won. They beat Dallas, remember? So that fucking that return, remember that crazy shit where he ran all the way across the field like some Pop Warner Pee Wee football shit?
Yeah.
He looked at Dallas like, oh my God, Dallas, what y'all doing?
All right, fam.
Well, that's when everyone knew they had a guard. Like everyone really knew your defense is garbage.
Oh my God,
you guys suck. I was like, whatever fantasy squad you have, it's like, hey, if my offense is going against Dallas, I'm playing everyone that's playing Dallas. Garbage, man.
I think that's a good place for us to wrap this on some Dallas Cowboy hatred. So, thank everyone for tuning in, and we'll be in touch next week again.
Yeah, give it up to our best fan, Uncle Steve.
Yeah. All right, guys. Take it easy.
All right, peace.
Yeah.
All right, see y'all. Time to drink. Goodbye.